Okay, guys, everyone, welcome. To anyone that is watching the replay, welcome. Today I'm going to do this series of readings. The concept or, the theme for today was, somehow they're, idols, like hidden magnetism or something that they do, that is very attractive, maybe for fans, maybe for a special someone, and they don't realize that they have it, but it's like a charm. So yeah, I do have very few people for this, and then I'm going to continue reading for Stray Kids members for Romance in 2026. Because I don't have much recommendations, but yeah, I was thinking of continuing, romance in 2026 for other groups because I did for BTS initially. But yeah, since no one recommended another groups, I was like, okay, I guess I just, will read individually. But yeah, since some people were, requesting Stray Kids, let's do Stray Kids. And then I have to go because I have an online course that I have to take. So I'm a bit busy today. Hello guys. Hey Fluffy. Hey Draculaura. So on my list for this series that is called The Art of Attracting Love, I do have TXT Yeonjun. I have NCT Jaehyun, or Jeffrey, as we call him here. The actress Jung So and Ateez Yunho. And then I'm going to continue with romance in 2026 for the members of Stray Kids, and I do have the list of all the members. So yeah, that's it for today. And I was thinking that, next Sunday, I want to read for more Chinese actors because, I had been getting into watching C-dramas. So some names I do recognize and I believe I had read for them in my channel. But some people I don't know. So I think that it would be I don't know. I think that it would be very interesting, besides me, like doing a typical, tarot reading for what's available for them. It would be interesting to do a personality reading. It's been a while since I done a personality reading. So I was thinking that I'm going to suggest this on the community. And if you guys have new actors or people from, Chinese drama or entertainment that I haven't heard of, please recommend it. Oh, no, I didn't see it. No, I didn't see it. Maybe the last time I checked yesterday, maybe I didn't scroll or I got distracted. A personality reading, yeah, so do something fun. Then I can pull an extra card to see, the energy for this year, for example. But I think that it would be more interesting, the personality readings. It's been a while since I've done them. And I think that in this case, since, I'm new to the Chinese actors and actresses, I think that it would be really cool to see what we got. Yeah. You commented yesterday. Okay. Maybe I missed it. Yeah. Yeah, because yesterday I checked, I wrote down a few. But also I was going back and forth, with TikTok and reading comments also on some other past readings. So I was a bit going, here and there with the app. So maybe yes, that's why I didn't see it. I got the impression that it was very that the common thing that I would notice is that everyone were like Stray Kids, Stray Kids. So I was like, yeah, I'm going to read for Stray Kids. Mm-hmm. And also, I'm new with my glasses, so I'm feeling a bit I'm adjusting. I'm not comfortable. Not at all. This is why I'm not sure if I'm going to continue wearing them as I do the readings, the live stream for the readings. I'm just doing it today to see how it goes, to see how it is for me. but I think that it feels a lot. It feels like I feel a bit uncomfortable. Like there's a lot, and I'm like, I'm not comfortable. Yeah, I'm not. Mm. I don't know if you guys also were watching me, because I know that it's like you can see the ring light. There's, even though these are anti-reflex, but the ring light is powerful. But uh, it's very uncomfortable. And also I just didn't know what to choose. Everyone were like, but why didn't you choose this style and this kind of style? And like, I don't know. I just went to the place and I was very overwhelmed with what was available. So I just chosen the one that would distract me the least. Because I cannot, like, I don't know. I think that also it makes my nose look wider. Like, it's very odd what it does, because my nose actually is not, I mean, this shape is mine, obviously, but it's sort of like presses here, even though it doesn't have like this pat. This doesn't come with pats. But it seems like it presses them, and I don't know. I'm just so I'm not comfortable, no. But well, I can see definitely that's a plus, and I notice the differences between having them on and reading with them and not having them. I noticed that, yes, probably I was a bit short inside. I just didn't accept it, but maybe I wasn't seeing that much. Oh no, if I have to wear contacts, I don't know if I would ever be able to put them on. Oh no, because I'm so sensitive to the eyes. I think that the whole action of having to push something in my eye, no, I wouldn't be able to do it. Or having to remove them, the worst. No, I don't think, I'm too sensitive for that action. I think that I will go crazy. I will be, panicking and not being able to do it correctly. And even I notice, especially lately, when it comes to some horror movies, there's a sort of fixation on certain scenes being about doing something to the eyes or to a pupil. And I'm like, don't show me those parts, because I get very sensitive about, like, just the image of someone trying to poke in someone's eye or threatening to do something to their eyes. I'm like, no, no, no. It feels like I feel it like it's happening to me. Like, it's giving me a kind of reaction. Like, I cannot, I'm too sensitive for those kind of images. I'm like, no, no, not the eyes. Like, do another part, but not the eyes. My eyes are really dry, so I need to put eye drops often. What are because I don't know if I have that, but what are the symptoms of having dry eyes? Because I notice my eyes are, just different. But maybe I don't know. When I go again to the eye doctor, I will ask her, because she, like, every, like, kind of like symptom that I had, she was a bit like, I don't want to say like she was dismissive, but she was like, yeah, that's normal. Yeah, that has to do with that. That has to do because you have to wear, glasses, or she was like nodding. She was like, mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's because you have a low immune system. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. As if yes, that you are going through, that you think that is so singular, is actually because of this. You know, and I think that I mean, she did listen to me, but I think that she was more like, sort of, I was sharing my experiences, and I forgot, to ask her if I ever feel my eyes tired, if I can, what kind of eye drop should I buy for those things, like, or what should I do, or about, you know, um, washing my face, or, especially because of the dermatitis that I had. Remember that I had that on this side. And the day that I went, well, and I told her about that, she like prescribed me the same medicine that I was applying. So I was doing something right. I was doing something right. So I wasn't, you know. Mm, yeah, some contacts were very hard for me to wear at first. Then I got used to it. Itchy goes red easily, and they tear up easily from wind or after. You technology a lot. Okay. So maybe I may have that also. Blue light glasses help, which is why sometimes I wear contacts, so I can put on blue light glasses later. Yeah, you feel like you have to blink a lot when you have dry eyes too. Mm. I use non-medicated technology outside. Okay. Yeah, for me, it's because I have been working on computers. So I think that, even though I know that after 40, I think that, I noticed that I was like, what is going on, guys? That the font of the comments, it seemed so tiny for me. And I remember Samara was the one that she was like, maybe you need glasses. She was like, I think that she was my reality check, because I just didn't like, I don't know if I was a bit on denial. I'm sure I was, but I never stopped thinking like, maybe I need glasses. No, 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 because I always wanted to wear glasses. Like, I think that they're cool. It's just that I never needed them, so they were never prescribed to me. um, so even with lupus, even with having, to take this medication, that it does affect your eyesight. So, the doctors make you have these sort of like, examinations of the eye every 6 months, to see if how your eyes are doing, because I believe that, that medicine, one of the side eyes, not the side eyes, not the side eye, the side effects, one of the side effects affects your eyesight. So yeah, that's why they would always make me go to the eye doctor. I would always be very suspicious, because they were like, no, you have to go, you know every once in a while, to go get your eyes checked. And I would go, and I would have them, and they would be like, well, it's okay. And they would never prescribe me, like, they would never be like, well, you need to start wearing glasses. No, no. And I think that that's why I just didn't go there anymore. I was like, okay, maybe, um but I guess it's preventive. It's just in case they see a bit of, it's just that, I think that because the modality, like the way I had been working, has changed completely, because I never had been like actually in front of a computer that much. I would be if I had to send an email, or if I had to do an inventory or something like this, but not to the point of always having to be in front of a computer. I would be in front of people and products. They were my, that was my relationship. It was dealing with people, dealing with products, but never with so much with, a lot of, um, um, screens. Yes. Ah, if you drive, you should be careful because there's a condition called astigmatism, which makes the headlights of cars go in all directions. Oh, and also something that happens to the eye when you age. Ah, people treat you better. Okay, really? Why? Do they feel sorry? Why do they treat you better? I guess I will look my age now. Now people will stop being like, "Oh, you look younger than your age." No, I look my age. I'm old. The other day I posted on my Instagram, and I was like, I shared a picture, and I was like, my first time wearing this serious lady kind of glasses, seriously serious lady, professional lady, responsible lady kind of glasses. But it's true, you do look more serious, like more like, I don't know, it gives you a frame. It's literally the frame of it's the frame. It gives you a structure to your face. Yes. Oh, then I will share it on Discord, Laura. I will share it. It's in Spanish, most of the things. And actually there's a lot of pictures of my niece and my nephews. And sometimes I do share a short of these live streams. I do share them just to share them because I know that I have, people from my family, and I have, because that used to be my original Instagram account. So I do have people that I went to school with, or people that they used to work with me. Former bosses. Yeah, I do have a mix of people. And then I just turned it to post about tarot. In the pandemic, I gave it a switch, and I started posting about tarot readings or pick cards and all those things. But I don't know. Every once in a while, I post in English. I don't know. I think that I just do that with my social media. I have a weird relationship with Instagram. This is why every time I see, people that they follow me in real, like, and I see them in real life, I'm like, if you see a video of me talking in English, and I know that they don't know English, so probably they are like, what is she doing? Don't mind me. Just, scroll. Just, ignore it. Ignore it. Um, because I'm sure they don't understand. They're like, why? But I mean, they could just ignore me if they don't get it. It's just that I try to make one for the channel. And I think that, yeah, 20 people were following me, and that's it. So I was like, okay, I'm a bit tired of having two Instagram accounts, like one for my family or one for my personal life, I would say, and the other for content. So I was like, I'm going to mix the both of them, and whoever wants to watch it, they will watch it. I don't think the glasses age you at all, honestly. Maybe the opposite, I don't know. I don't know. I'm just happy. Like the thing that when I say that I'm a bit uncomfortable is physically. Like I feel like I have something in my face that it's like another weight. Like another kind of accessory that I have to have on me. Like, for example, I don't know. I don't know, when I'm doing the live streams with you guys or when I'm recording something, I have to wear a mic. So this is on me, And I don't know, when I have to be at class, I have to wear headphones. So the headphones are on me, on my body, So and now is these glasses that I also have to take into consideration, like, okay, you need to bring them with you. Don't forget your glasses. Like, you will need them. And it's a whole new experience, I will adapt. But it is the experience of having to wear them. I'm excited, actually. I always wanted to wear glasses. Always. Even when I was younger, I was like, I just cannot wait to be able to wear glasses. I want to wear glasses. On the contrary, I don't like sunglasses. I don't know why. I just don't like wearing sunglasses. I just want to take them off, like, and I know that there's people that they are like, oh, well, the sun is out, the sunglasses. I have them, and I rarely use them. I don't like them, actually. I think that I don't like them. And it's funny because every time I'm under the sun, I'm like this. And people are like, why don't you wear your glasses? No, I prefer to be like this, be frowning because, the sun is, but I don't know, I have a thing with dark glasses, that sunglasses, that I don't like them. I'm like, no. I don't understand why people wear them inside also. I'm like, no, the eyes are the eyes of the soul. So I need to see your eyes. Like, if you cover them all the time, I'm like, So, but yeah, I've always wanted to wear glasses, and I didn't need them. I should have done like idols. Do you know that? Do you realize that there's certain idols that they do wear those sort of like, that is only the frame of the glasses, and you're like, oh, that's really cute, pair of glasses that you have. And they're like, oh, they don't have the. I think people treat you better because there's a lot of positive stereotypes on glasses, like being smart or more knowledgeable. If I can make them intimidating. Wow. Yeah, I'm very smart. Like, I don't know if I'm smart, but I think that I'm someone that if you want to talk to me about something that I'm so curious. Like, I really love knowledge. But yeah, I can understand that there are certain stereotypes, because I remember people used to think, when they first meet me, they think that I'm superficial, that, that I'm not that deep. And maybe they think that I'm not smart neither. Or maybe they used to think that about me, that I'm not that deep, Especially because I have good relationships with different kind of people. Or I say hi to a lot of people, or I just talk to different people, from different social class, I guess. In my country, it's all about classes, but I'm very respectful. I say hello to everyone, and maybe they thought that I lack depth, but actually I'm very deep. It's just that, I can be serious, but also I can be goofy. I have my sides. Going outside with no glasses is not fun. Oh my God, but inside the house is fine. Yes. The other day I was like, I was starting to have a headache, and I was like, I'm going to take them off because I cannot do it. It's a lot for today. A lot. I love wearing sunglasses. I feel protected, not from the sun, like I can see without being seen or something. I don't find sunglasses with very tinted frames uncomfortable, but if you look at gentle monster styles, they have UV protective ones that don't have tint. So it protects your eyes without affecting vision. That's cool. I'm doing marketing and media and university right now, and we talk about the psychology behind stereotypes. It was so fun in discussion in here. different sides. Well, the cards that I usually have for for reading personality traits, for some celebrity, those are archetypes cards. It's not like an oracle or something. It's archetype cards. And it's from this author. She's called Caroline Miss. She has a YouTube channel, and in that channel, I believe she does. She has like, this sort of explanation. I remember once I found her channel, I watched one, but she has like one video for maybe an archetype or one of the archetypes, and it's a lot of archetypes. So I think that I just watched one, and it was really good, but it's very long. It's like a TED talk. It's very interesting, but also there's a lot of information. So, for me, especially because I use them intuitively, so I try not to either read the book nor, accumulate a lot of like, oh, this means this, because then when I have it, I cannot, connect with it with what I'm feeling. It's more like, oh, remember the qualities, and I don't want to read like that. I want it to be more intuitive, Really, I never got the impression from you were superficial at all. Yeah, I know, but yeah. Yes, it has the same, her name. It has her name, the channel. Caroline Miss. I don't know if I have it here. This is it's a bit. This is, I don't know if you can see the name, Caroline Miss. I have a question about tarot and oracle cards, actually. Do we need multiple depending on the reading we're doing? Or is one, two enough? For me, honestly, since I always go back to, I have a lot. But for me, I always go back to the same. I don't know. It just feels, and I think that the more you practice, the more you, because I cannot say this is my first deck. No, this is not my first tarot deck, but the system is the typical Rider-Waite. And I always go back to it. I always go back to this. Sometimes I let it rest because I use this for, personal readings. I sometimes I book cards for myself. Sometimes I read for people here that, when they come to see me, that they live in my area. They come to get the readings sometimes when I have free time. So I do the readings for them with this. Then when I have personal readings requests on my email, I also use this. So I have like, this is, if you're like, what is your, go-to tarot deck, this. I have like something like I hold it and this has history. This has been used. If you see the colors, this has been used. And I also use it for the channel. But because, I also have a lot. Sometimes for the channel, I have the possibility to use different, Another one that I love is this one. For example, that is again another Rider-Waite. It's just that this one is borderless. This is also my favorite because in here I have the colors, I have the shape, I have it's my kind of, even though I love the TOS system, the TOS system is the system that I love because it's so interesting, but see, for example, I have this one, that this is pink. It's a Rider White Smith, but pink. This is a kind that I also used in the past. So I change it. It depends. But the reality is I always go back to the same. So, but it wasn't like this always, because I remember when I wasn't reading, I knew how to read, but I would keep them in a drawer, or I would keep them locked in a furniture. I would just buy them because I love them and I wanted to have them for myself. I would have a lot. I remember I had this sort of druid kind of Celtic inspired tarot decks that were also my favorite back then, but I wouldn't read with them, or I wouldn't use them. So I think that it took me a while to really be like, this is the deck that I go to. Initially, I would just buy a lot. Yeah. Oracles, I have more tarot decks than oracles, because I noticed that sometimes there's some oracles that I'm like, oh, but it's so beautiful. I want to have it. Even if it's, because when there's the keyword or the message starts repeating itself, I'm like, you already have it. Why do you want it? Because it has different drawings. So, for me, it's like, no, don't do that. I'm trying to stop with the consumism. I think that in the pandemic, maybe we all went through this, about buying a lot of things. But for me, thanks to this channel, I was able to put them in a good use, because I can say, well, I have 50, but I'm using them for the channel, or I'm using them for the live stream. So I found a purpose in compulsively buying. I don't want to buy anymore. I mean, every once in a while, there's certain, I have this oracle that I bought lately. I'm covered like this because, first of all, my period. I'm having my period, but also because I left my heater, my electronic heater, it's with Kali. That Kali is sleeping, so I'm freezing cold in here. But she has the heater herself. So I brought my blanket, everything. I think that I have this. This is the latest oracle that I bought, because since I'm studying meditation, there's a lot of things about Buddhism, and Taoism. I think that it is mindfulness, a lot of things, a lot of subjects, and it's been a while. I had a bit of like the image of. I also have the Oracle of Goddesses. So I remember there was a moment where I got this goddess that she's Chinese, a Chinese goddess, that she's Quan Yin, I believe it's the name of the goddess. So this is an oracle of her, of Quan Yin. And this, I bought it for myself, to pull messages for myself in this sort of like meditation journey that I'm going through, about slowing down, breathing, being present, learning to be present, regulate yourself. So this is the last, my last acquisition, I would say, is, I believe the creator of this is called Alana Fairchild. And it has 55 sort of oracle messages. Quan Yin is, it's really pretty. You have on this side, and it's in Spanish, but it has like these tiny cards. And this is the last one. This is the last one. Yes. I did put for myself recently, and I do not recommend tarot readings really for themselves. Yes, it's very feminine. It's very feminine, actually. It feels feminine. It feels sweet. It feels, well, she's the goddess of compassion, I believe. She's the goddess of compassion. And I think that, sometimes that, of you learning to be compassionate with yourself, not being harsh all the time, not being, always thinking like we were talking, about, oh, I have to fix this about myself. Oh, I have to do this. And we all know that there's a part of us that we need fixing. But sometimes, it's not that simple to just like, oh, okay, because I know what it is, I'm going to fix it right away. Certain emotions, certain past experiences, they get stuck with you. So sometimes you do need, a very, very calm, sweet message of acceptance. Maybe not like, this is why I'm like, I'm starting to, do this exercise of pulling a card, but not a tarot card, just an oracle card with a keyword. And what I do is that I pull one, or I use an oracle, but I pull one card, and I can do this for a card, for a month. For I don't know. We are about to enter in June, so for June I will pick a card that will be like the keyword for the month. And I do that for my clients as well. Or if it's like astrological season, like, okay, now we are in Taurus, okay, we are about to enter in Gemini. So I ask, okay, for Gemini season, what is the energy? How should I prepare myself? How can I make the most of this energy that is coming, or the season that is coming? And I pull a card. And actually, if you pay attention, you do resonate a lot. You do resonate a lot. You do. It's very interesting. But it has to be simple. I think that sometimes when I try to read tarot for myself, or when I don't know, I want to do like a proper reading, there's something that, yes, it doesn't click. Like, even if you read the cards together and you're like, yeah, I know what that means, but it doesn't. It feels like yes, they repeat something that your conscious already knows. So it feels like, oh, this is not the message that I wanted. Because I know what it is. So maybe a keyword, like a card with a keyword or with a message, simple, general, it can maybe, help you open up more to that, and not being so resistant, or not being so on the defensive of like, oh, I heard about that, I heard about that. Yes. Yeah, tarot, the tarot is very like, yes, they all have their personalities. Yes, you feel it. You're like, I know. This is why every time I just pull cards about something, I'm like, yeah, they told me what I need to know. Don't pull more cards, because they already told you. Yes, no. Don't keep pulling cards because it's worse. Yeah, pull the oracle card. Pull the oracle card because that is not the directive. Maybe you don't need directions. You don't need. I think that if you're asking, it's not because you want to understand. It's not so much like, oh, please tell me what to do. Mm. Yes. But that is a good practice. That is a good practice. I do that. Sometimes if I'm too busy, I take a picture of that to see, or I just have, little like things made of wood that I stand the card like this with that. So it stays like this, and so I can look at it. I do have some old cards that, if I don't use the deck, I will just put some tape on them and just, put them on the fridge or on somewhere that I can see them. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's a whole experience to work with tarot. It's I don't know. I think that for me probably the moments, because I remember when I was younger that I was a bit I didn't want people to know that I read tarot, because back then there wasn't it wasn't that well seen, I guess, or well received. So I remember I used to read for my family, for my aunts and my cousins, and sometimes for a friend. And I remember that, I don't know why, I think that my first experiences reading for them, they were very uncomfortable. Because I would see the message, I would like, it's like, it's not that your gift is not there. It's just that then later I understood that it's because you have a relationship with them. So somehow, maybe the way you decide to express what you see, it's it's a bit like attached to, oh, I don't want to hurt their feelings, or, like, oh, I want to give them a positive reading, or I want to help them out. So that's why I stopped them reading for people that I know, or from my family, or for, I stopped reading for them. And I was like, I can, I can sort of like give you the number of someone that I know that is a good reader. But when I have that kind of relationship, I prefer to not read for them. And also what I felt, it was because there was a lot of familiarity. They wouldn't take my interpretation seriously. Like, there was something about me being like, in here I'm seeing this, maybe you should be more careful about this, or you should prevent, if you can, certain things. And they would start, naming all the reasons. Oh, well, I cannot do that because, this and this, they are not going, and all the excuses. And then me like, me, or, this person, they make me my life difficult and it's not that simple. So they would, instead of getting the message and being like, okay, thank you, um, they would get, to excuse themselves, like, well, it's not that easy because my life is not that, it's not that easy and I cannot do that. And because they had, a relationship with me, they felt, the the freedom to just say, like, instead of, taking the interpretation and being like, okay, thank you for your reading, I will, I will think about it, or I will take certain things with me, because back then I wouldn't record them because it wasn't in person. But there was a lot of resistance, from them, and being like, well, no, it's not like that. Well, it's not. So I was always, and I think that that was very uncomfortable for me as well, because I was like, okay, maybe they are right and I'm not seeing correctly their situation. Maybe maybe the cards are wrong. And actually, no, it wasn't that my perception or the cards were wrong. It's just that they were in denial themselves. So me with the tarot, from a place of a tarot reader, trying to bring light to a situation, they were very much in denial. So they would always oppose me. They would be like, no, that's not like that. So I was like, okay, okay. So that's when I stopped and I began to, only take requests from strangers. And I did better with people that I have no connection with. And I think that it makes sense, because then later when I studied for counseling, we were talking about, this professional relationship, that it's better. It's actually, is what is correct, that you shouldn't treat your family like your clients or a potential client, because that messes up, the connection, the seriousness of what you are going to be opening up, in a place of consultation, or in a place of vulnerability, where you're going to open up about your past, about what you're going through. If you have a history with that person, you're not going to be able to open up fully. And it's uncomfortable. I think that's why, you know, um, when I first started, and I started reading for the people that I knew, I felt like, yeah, some were good exercises and good experiences, and some were very uncomfortable, because it seemed like the person really wanted to say, like, you don't know what you're doing. Like they wanted to prove me, like, you're not really good at this. And it was strangers, or it was people that I had no connection with, the ones that really, they gave me a feedback, and they were like, yes, this that you said, or this that you saw, is actually, something that I think that it was available back then, and I saw it, and I was able to work with this. So that's when I discovered the value of, um, my interpretations, because if it was me reading for people that I knew, I always felt like there was something wrong. Like I was like, it seemed like they really wanted to prove me wrong. They really wanted to be like, you don't know what you're doing. And I would feel it. I would feel that. And I think that that's why, if you want to practice with the strangers. Don't practice with family members. And also because they always want to get, free readings, and they just don't value you. Mm, mm, yes. Yes. Mm-hmm. Mm. Mm-hmm. Mm. Yes. Also for creative purposes, it's really good. Yes. They are really good friends, the tarot. Yes. Um. Yeah, I remember I had also someone that wanted to hire me for their birthday party, and she was like, "Oh, can you bring, the more like lighthearted, like kind of cards that you have? We don't want no scary subject. We want things to be fun, And I was like, like tarot is not that scary. I'm not, going to do something freaky with the cards. I'm just going to pull some cards." But I think that she didn't understand the whole experience of what it is that actually a tarot reader does. Like, why would it be scary? Like, I know I wouldn't be triggering a person with personal subjects or exposing them with the tarot in a in a birthday party setting. Like, I know it's public. It's not the same as a one-on-one consultation. Um, but I don't know if people think that we are creepy like that. I don't know. Mm, yes. Okay, I'm going to start, guys, because I do have a lot of people, and I don't want. I hope I can see, because like this I cannot see the tiny light. Okay, I'm going to start. Okay. I want to start with TXT Yeonjun, and let's see, his hidden magnetism in the art of love, of attracting love. What is his hidden magnetism? Let's see. TXT Yeonjun. Mm. Actually, it's not that hidden. It's very like you can observe it very well. It's something that is exposed. It's not hidden. He's very hardworking in connections. We have for him 8 of Pentacles. We have the Magician. We have the King of Wands, and then we have the card of totality. Totally. Ah, no, sorry, totality. Totality. This big sun, totality. So, yeah, he's like he's a lot, a lot. I think that this is why he's so lovable. His magnetism is that he's an all or nothing kind of guy. He doesn't pretend. He's really this intense, I would say. Very career driven, very much about fulfilling his destiny, working towards his goals. We have the Eight of Pentacles. We have the Magician, so he's always working to be seen, to be an entertainer, to be funny, to be exciting, to give you an exciting experience. He's very much like he has a lot of fire in him, and it's very interesting because every time I read for Yeonjun, I see that he always gets these core cards that they are like a Page of Wands, a Knight of Wands, and now we have the King of Wands in here. So there's a lot of like fire, inner fire, like, very competitive, very much like I have to be the one, or I have to be the best, or I have to be, I have to do something. I have to show myself. I have to, be authentic, but also be a winner. He's very competitive like this. He always wants to be like a really good, he wants, it's not about standing out, but I think that he really wants to show his whole self. He wants to be admired, but he wants to be admired because of this sort of energy. Or he's like, okay, I prefer to be judged for being too much than actually being judged for like, oh, you have low energy, or you have no charisma, or you have no personality. I think that he's like, no, I would prefer for people to be like, oh, well, he's a lot, or he always does a lot, or he has this strong magnetism. He's someone that he's like, yeah, I'm okay. I'm okay with exposure. I'm okay with, maybe if people think that he's a bit individualistic, or because he really knows how to promote himself. Like he really is a good promoter, I guess, if that's a word, I don't know. But he really promotes himself very well. Like I think that his self is very well aligned, and he's always working really hard to be a better person, to be a better version of himself. I see him working a lot, studying, like he is, and I think that this is why he's so popular, I guess. Or if we think about love, relationships, and attraction, I think that he is that sort of popular member or popular, idol, because he puts the work. This is not a member that is like, well, I just sit and I'm pretty. No, he's radiant. He has a lot of energy. He has a lot of. He's not a shy person. He's not someone that has like a complex inside. He's like, oh my God, for me to be on this stage, oh, I really have to work on myself because, I get a bit nervous every time. He's like, no, I was born for this. I'm not nervous. I don't regret anything that I do for the spotlight. And I think that when it comes to relationships, he also shows himself the way he is. He's like, yeah, I know about my popularity, or I know that I have been doing the things correctly, and I know that, people love me, or that my fans love me. And I will always be that person, and I will always show that with pride. He's very proud of his relationship with the fans, or his relationship with people. I think that he gets along very well with people, because with the card of totality, see, he gives of himself in a totality. So he is like his whole self. There's not like a hidden part. There's not like a part that you're like, oh my God, I didn't know he was like this. No, he's a very upfront person also. And he's very proud of himself because he has done the work. Actually, he has been doing the work for a very long time. I know he had a solo, but could it be that there's a solo also coming? There's something solo is something that it has to do with Yeonjun that even though I'm not reading for him in his career, nor near future, nor anything, but I can see it here because it's here. So I'm like, what is he preparing? I'm sure he's preparing like something to show to the fans. And he is, he's maturing. He's also, there's something about his energy being like, he's not a child anymore. He's not like, he is a grown man. This is why we have the king of wands. He's very passionate. He's very assertive. It's just that he always is working to be a better version of himself. So I think that probably people can be like, oh my God, he's a bit centered on himself. I can see it, that he, but it's not that he's self-centered. It's just that he knows that, who he is his work, is part of his work and his identity. So this is why he puts a lot of work on himself, on getting to know himself better, or on doing individual works, because he's like, I know, I am of value. My work is me. I am my temple. So I have to invest in me. I have to believe in me. I have to show me. You have to see me. I have to look my best. I have to, just be professional, and I have to be, desirable, and I have to take risk, and I have to entertain you. So yes, a part of his charm is also that he's very brave. He's a very brave person. He has a lot of personality. Also, this is a man that he's proud of who he is. So, he's not going to, shrink or act like, oh my God, I'm so shy, when actually he's not a shy man, not at all. He's proud of himself. Yes, he does have that yeah, with the king of wands. I'm like, yeah, his concept is always going to be, about himself, like a bit of a Leo energy. We also had the sun, the sun in the oracle. So I was like, it's all about him. It's all about him. He's a rock star. Yes. Okay, I'm going to continue with NCT Jaehyun. His hidden magnetism. Let's see how he uses the art of attracting love. He's so laid back. He's so different. He's so different from Yeonjun. Is the opposite, I would say. I'm like, why do I get like chilling vibes? Like, he is just, oh my God. But that's part of why we love him, actually. Four of Swords, Four of Cups, the card of the Hermit. And we have, this is a very Aquarius card. We have the card of friendship. Friendship. So yeah, he is the boy next door. He is like, he's a friend. He is your friend. This is this friendly man that we all fall in love with. He doesn't do anything. He doesn't do anything. It's just, I think that this is so, this is literally like, if you want to attract something, just be ready to receive. Just don't don't force it. Don't force it. Let it flow towards you. And the force, the four of swords, the four of cups, it's all about building this sort of like routine where you don't expect to be attractive or loved or last over. He's like, well, I'm thank you for loving me, or thank you for, all these things, like great things that you say about me. Thank you so much. Thank you. He's, he's like, he leaves you. He leaves you on red. He's just on vacation. His mind also, he doesn't think. I think that this is one of these people that, those people that are naturally very very popular, especially like, ever since they were children or when they were in high school. They were always, people's dream girl, dream boy. And there's a sense of like, yeah, I've been here before. Yeah, I was, voted the most popular, or I got this recognition for being, the best. And I don't know. I'm just being myself, and I don't know what to say except saying thank you. But I don't know. I don't even know how this makes me feel. There's a bit of disconnection also. I think that for him, it's like, thank you. There's not much that he can do or say for this. For being appreciated and being loved and admired. I think that he also doesn't fight it. The Four of Swords and the Four of Cups is about him having no anxiety at all about this. He's not thinking like, oh my God, now that I'm popular, like, what do I do to be more popular next time? No. He just, takes what it is, and probably there must be something about, his magnetism, or about his popularity even, or being loved and being people talking about him, being the chosen one, being chosen by, like, oh, he's my bias, he's my favorite. I think that first of all, he never intended to be someone's favorite or someone's like ideal. He's like, I don't see myself like this. It's not something that I'm like, I need to have that. No, he's not that I would say ambitious. He's not that ambitious. It's just that life has happened like this for him. So he's sort of used to this, but he's not the type of person that he's like, oh, well, because, I am popular and I have fans and I have people that had come to me and tell me that I'm beautiful and tell me that I'm all of these things, that I'm perfect. And he's just very humble. He stays in his bubble. He's not affected. Not at all. Not at all. Not at all. He's like, thank you. But, the hermit also, he is someone that he's also probably a bit of a loner, a bit of someone that it's not about him being a loner, but I think that he is someone that he is very, the way he thinks or the way he perceives his reality, and maybe him being an artist or him being in the spotlight, it's actually something that is very curious for him, but it's not something that he's like, oh, I have to find ways to make more money out of this, or to use this, or to give this a meaning or a purpose, or I have to compete with others, or I have to, he doesn't have the drive, the passion even to do something with his art of attracting love, because I'm sure he's very loved and he's used to being loved. I think that his tranquility and maybe him being so chill about this is because he had always been loved. He had always been appreciated. And this experience had come to him in a very secure environment or a stress-free kind of environment. So maybe it's about his family, his background, the way he was raised, where love and acceptance came easily to him and came as a very, soothing, familiar kind of experience where he didn't have to fight others for his mother's affection. It was just given to him. Attention was given to him. And I think that he also, reciprocated to his family, his friends in a very, humble way. So I think that he didn't get to a level of wow, I have to do something with this ability that I have to be handsome. No, for him it's like fame comes and goes. His mentality, it's very different. And this whole situation probably about being famous or being in the industry, it's still something that he's still evaluating. What does it mean to be famous? Or what does it mean to be loved by strangers? Or by people that they think that they know you. But he's like, they don't know me. He does have a lot of questions. He does have a lot of questions about this dynamic or this that people say that he makes them feel a certain way. He's like, but how do they connect with me? He's just very, I think that he's still trying to find the answers because his mind cannot comprehend, but he can offer you friendship. He has friendship, not friendship. He had friend-zoned everyone on this video, everyone who is watching this video, and he's a fan of Jeffrey, just like we all are here. Has been friend-zoned by him because with the kind of friendship, he's like, let's be friends. Let's wish each other well. Thank you. Oh. Yeah, I know. No, I didn't. Then I thought that you said that something happened. No, you read about it. Okay. But yeah, it's always dramatic. Yeah. Yeah, he's still, yes, he's still in there. He's still taking a nap. He's still in hiatus. He hasn't arrived. His body has arrived, but his energy hasn't. Oh man, I love him so much. It's just so him. It's so him. I'm like, I couldn't expect less of you. Like, it's so him. Okay, let's see for this actress, for Jung So. Let's see for her. The art of attracting love, her hidden magnetism. Let's see for So-min. She always gets the Queen of Cups. Oh, so sweet. A lot of water she gets. I feel it, and I'm like, oh. Okay, for her, we have the Six of Swords, we have the Chariot, we have the Queen of Cups, and then we have the card from the Oracle that is says suffering, which is very sad. This card is says suffering. But yeah, I think that I don't know about this actress because I have been reading for her for a while actually, but I don't know if there's something about her. I don't know if it's like that she usually does, this kind of like maybe acting roles that some of them do carry a bit of suffering or a bit of emotional, like she struggles a lot in the way she plays the characters, like in the sense that there's a sad story in the plot or something that she seems to be very affected. But I think that with the kind of suffering, there's a bit of empathy. I think that maybe the people that love her or that they feel attracted to her, it's because they are like, we know she had suffered, or we know that even though she is like this she's very giving. There's something about her being very resilient also, always advancing, but probably there was a bit of suffering in her past, or she went through something. I think that the fans, maybe they do know something about this. So there's a bit of like, people value her because they're like, behind this very sweet lady, this sweet woman, this very empathic woman, because she's so sweet. She's so sweet. I can feel it. Like, and I always get the same vibe from her. She never changes. She's always the sweetest. She's always helping someone out. And probably, she had been disappointed at some point, or there was a bit of suffering, in her life. So I think that people are like, what I love about her, or what I love about the character that she plays, or about, this aura that she has, is that she's someone that she went through a lot of suffering, but at the same time, there's this very understanding kind of energy from her, like she doesn't hold grudges, she just advances in her life, even if people had done her wrong. She just advances, and in this, it's so literal. The Six of Swords, the Chariot, there's a bit of like, there's a lot of like, let's face the future, let's advance together, like let's make it together. I think that she's a great influence on people. People really love her, and she loves people as well. She's like the mother archetype, this very sweet, compassionate person that she's like, well, even if there were people that had done me wrong in the past, I forgive them. And I move on. And I think that this is her magnetism. And like, just like I said, for TXT Yeonjun, in her case, I also don't think that she hides this. It's not hidden. It's not something that it's like you really have to know her a lot to see it. No, I think that she has showed this very sweet energy, in public. People had seen it, or she had done, I don't know if she had done charity or if she had been there helping others, but I think that she's a very gentle soul. She's a very gentle soul. And it sort of makes sense that she is an actress, because there's a lot of emotions in her. There's a lot of emotions in her. She always has, these emotions available. She's someone that she's like, come here, let's go through this together. She's very empathic. Her level of empathy is really good. She's also very intuitive. This is why I'm like, she can look soft, and she's a sweet person, but at the same time, I think that there's a lot of resilience, because we have the Six of Swords and we have the Chariot. So she's like, even though I'm really sweet and I'm really, understanding, and I comprehend people and situations, at the same time, I will not let them run me over again. There's something about her advancing with her career, with her ideas, with her, she's like, no one is going to stop me. No one is going to walk all over me. It's just that I think that, just like every time I read for these actresses, that they are very giving. They are very giving, they are very compassionate, they are very generous. That there's the potential of being taken advantage of. you know, that there's a potential of, I know that there's people that they love and support these actresses, and they're like, oh, you know, we want her to, you know, what about love, and what about, you know, family, and when is she going to get married, and you know, there's a lot of people that they want to take advantage of these famous, you know, women. They want to take everything from them. They also want to take away their peace. You know, they want to sell them lies. So I think that when you are this sweet, or when you are this also successful, you have to protect yourself, because she's a dreamer just like the rest of us. She's a romantic just like the rest of us. You know, except that she has a career in the entertainment, you know, business. But I think that this is a woman that she has to, you know, she has to be careful with connections, because she tends to give a lot of herself to others. So she has to, you know, protect herself. And if this means being careful about love, connection, relationships, friendships, that also. So, you know, respect also when, you know, there's certain actresses that people are like, oh, but you know, what about her love life? You know, what isn't she dating this person and the other person and her co-star and this other guy or this ex of hers? So, you know, she went through a lot. She has a history with suffering. So I think that now she's all about, no one is stopping me now. Like, I can be very nice and I can be very understanding and loving, but no one is you know, no one is taking advantage of me anymore. You know, she's, and also the good thing is that she doesn't stop being herself. You know, she still believes in love. She's still a sweet person, and that is what is part of her appealing. You know, her, why people love her so much, because first, she's very relatable. There's something about her nature that you are like, yeah, I've been there. I've been there, or I have been like her. You know, there's something, every time I read for her, I feel like this wave of emotions. But I also want her to take care of herself. And if boundaries are necessary, you know, that she puts the boundaries where they need to be. Because, you know, when you are this sweet, when you are this beautiful, when you are this talented, you know, people gravitate towards you. They want a piece of what you have. So, you know, you have to be extra careful. Really? She looks very young. Yeah, her face is flawless. She also has like a very like baby face. She has those kinds of, yes, sweet. But she's also sweet in real life. She's sweet, a sweet person. Okay. Let's see for Ateez Yunho. Ateez Yunho. Okay. Okay, we have for him, for Yunho, we have the Queen of Cups, we have the Eight of Cups, we have the Sun. And then I have the card of cohesion for him, cohesion. And here we have also two fishes. I believe they're fishes. Cohesion. He's also very sweet. Ateez Yunho. He also is very sweet. I think that in the past, he used to be sweeter. He used to be more on his feminine side. You know, we have the Queen of Cups and now we have the Eight of Cups next to this. So there's something about him probably when he first started in this business, you know, in this industry. There's something about him being too available or too generous or being too worried for the others, like, okay, what can I do for you? Okay, what do you need of me? You know, being emotionally available for everyone. And I think that with the Eight of Cups, there's a bit of, you know, like him walking away from his old ways, you know, and him being like, I'm no longer people's mother. You know, I think that and this is not about his relationship with the members. I think that this is about him as a man, you know, or as a young man, you know, him somehow wanting to anticipate, you know, people's needs, or him being there, you know, like, okay, what do you need me to do? Like, how can I help you? How can I do this for you? You know, always available for others, you know, always sweet, always nice, always with a smile on his face, you know. And with the Eight of Cups, there's a bit of, you know, like, I'm walking away from this. Like, I'm accepting that this is not the man that I want to be, or I don't want to be just remembered like the guy that is always helping others. You know, I think that he grew a bit tired of being too nice. You know, I think that this is another person that probably he learned to set boundaries, because maybe initially when he first started, maybe in the group, maybe in this industry, there's something about maybe he was put on a label that he had to be like, you know, you know that there's always like the father or the mother of the group, you know. And I think that he had this sort of vibe of that he's like the caretaker, or he's like the one that makes sure that everyone is okay and that everything is arranged, and that, okay, are you okay? You know, do you need me do you want me to get out of my way so you can have more room? You know, he always sacrificing for others, I would say. And even, you know, maybe even his relationship with fans, you know, being too open or too, you know, agreeing, you know, like, yes, like, do you like this of me? Okay, I will do this more of this that you want of me. You know, him somehow being always available emotionally. And I think that this is dangerous, especially, you know, when you are just starting, you know, in a business that, you know, there's a lot of expectations on idols, you know, like, even if you are the best or you are perfect in certain areas, they will always criticize you for something, or they will always be haters. So I think that there's something about there's a maturity, there's something that is changing in Juno's magnetism, or his ability to maybe attract love, you know, not just attract love and desire from others, it's also attract respect, to be more respected, you know, to set boundaries and being like, yeah, I know that you guys love me, or I know that, you know, that probably I'm your favorite, but please treat me with respect. You know, I'm a person, so, you know, respect me, please. You know, and I think that he's also like maybe taking up more space when it comes to showing his attractiveness. You know, being more out there. You know, also the sun card. You know, him probably being more in the center, or allowing himself to shine more, to be more in the spotlight, to have more fun, you know, not just like, okay, I want to make things work for others. You know, there's something about him always being like somehow putting his energy in the service of others, instead of him taking that moment to, you know, be more assertive and maybe be more attractive, or be more in the face of, you know, the viewers, and being like, you know, I could be your bias. I could be your bias, you know. Like him, you know, taking up space is like, you know, because especially if we think about 80s, you know, 80s does have a lot of strong performers, strong people, you know, strong personalities, a strong charisma. So you also have to be able to come out and play, you know. And I think that for Juno, there's this sudden brightness, you know, and also he's having so much fun that maybe in the past, because he used to be so pendant on like, okay, how do I make people feel? Do they like me? Do they not like me? What do they not like about me? And him always being open and available and vulnerable, to people's opinions. And I think that he's like, shedding that skin. He's like, no, I'm not doing that anymore. From now on, I want to be in the center. I want to be unforgettable. I want to be sexy. I want to smile more. I want to laugh more. I just want to have fun. With the sun card, there's a lot of like optimism. Like, I want to be happy. I want to be optimistic about my career and the role that I play, and I want people to have fun with me. I want that when people are looking at me, not only they are like, oh, he's beautiful, but also that my energy is contagious to them. So I think that he's also in his, main character kind of energy. And when it comes to this is a hidden magnetism, because I think that he had always been like this. It's just that there was something that, I don't know if it was the dynamic with the group, or if it was a former relationship of his that somehow was like draining his energy and his creativity as well. And I think that now that he's walking away from this, he's removing all the weight, all the limitations, and he's finally setting himself free to show you, to entertain you, to have fun, and I think that yeah, with cohesion, see, there has to be a level of, there has to be a union. There has to be a union. This is not about him not being himself, or not being caring, or not being sensitive anymore. This is more about him, learning, like you can change, and you can also be powerful. You can also be, magnetic. You can also be, very popular, because the sun wants to shine. The sun was meant to shine. So I think that this is his energy. His energy is that he wants to shine as well. It's not, it was a bit hidden. It was a sort of like a personal desire of his that maybe it was hidden for a while, because the conditions weren't, the best. So maybe he also lacked a bit of confidence. So this is why he was busy being in another role. But now the cards are like, you have to change, show yourself, take up space, like being like, move over. Yes. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it can be both, Fluffy. Yes. It can be both. Yeah, it's about, how the fans find him attractive, and also his attractiveness as a person, a personal trait. And I think that for Juno is very interesting, because there was he had to let go of a certain way of sorry, of him viewing being attractive, or being seen, or being popular. And I think that there's something with, you can be sensitive, and you can be caring, and you can be empathic, and you can be the sweetest, but you also have to find a balance. Like, you also have to bring your magnetism. Your magnetism cannot be hidden. You have to bring it out. You have to bring it out, especially in a group or a situation where you have a lot of people with a strong energy. So you have to bring your own. There's a space for you as well. There's a space in his reading. I don't think that there was limitations. Like, oh my God, there's other people that they don't let him be. No, it's just that he didn't dare to take that step. Mm. Thank you, Chatalino. my first time wearing them on the live stream. I don't know how it's going to look afterwards. I will have to check. I will have to check the live stream later to see how it looks. What bothers me is that you can see the ring light on the reflection of the ring light. I hate it, but well, it is what it is, guys. You have to come with me through all the, my personal experiences. And this is it. I started the channel with my brand new eyes, with my healthy eyes, with my healthy eyesight. And now, we are progressing into me getting glasses. Time passes. Time passes. Remember when I started this, I was young. I was so young. And now look at me. Yeah, I'm a pro. I'm a pro. Okay, you're choosing here in time. Wait, I'm going to change the mic. You're here in time because I'm about to start the readings for Stray Kids members. I don't know if you're a Stay, but I'm going to read for Stray Kids members for Romance in 2026 for them. The Tarot Master. The Tarot Master is here. Is here. I need my pointy hat, and I'm ready. I'm ready. Yeah, maybe. It's just that I started this, and I don't know if it's going to be successful, but I should do a second part because I know that there's people that they probably I can. Do you have someone in mind, Fluffy? I can add it for Sunday. Because usually on Sundays I do have like sometimes I do have an idea what I want to do, but when it comes to sometimes Wednesdays, I'm like, okay, like what do I read about? And thank God, we are not yet, but we are slowly going into Gemini season. So yeah, more Gemini idols to read for. Oh yeah, I can add him for next Sunday. Yes. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So we give it a bit of time between reading. But yeah, maybe I will continue next Wednesday. If nothing new comes up, I will do part 2. So then I can continue the series and give the opportunity to people that hasn't left their recommendation. But yeah, I should continue it. Maybe I should leave it for next Wednesday. I do have like, but I don't know why. The more, I don't know if it's my mouth that is dry, but the more I talk, the more I feel like my mouth is dry. Okay. Oh, don't go. Thank you to the people that recommended me Stray Kids members for the romance in 2026. Please, if you are stay, don't forget to leave a like, please, to my video. It means a lot for my channel, for my small channel. Okay. Okay, I have on my list, I have Bangchan, Felix, Han, Seungmin, Changbin, Lino, and Ayan. This is the order. So yeah, let's see. Let's start with the leader, with Bangchan. Romance in 2026. His reading doesn't seem that, that romantic actually, but the oracle, it's actually very nice, very soothing. Okay, for Bangchan in love, we have the Three of Pentacles, we have the Eight of Pentacles, we have the King of Wands in the middle, we have the King of Swords, and we have the Eight of Cups. And then from the oracle, we have the card of that says harmony, love and peace. Harmony, love and peace. So yeah, I mean, I don't feel this reading romantic at all. Maybe if he does have like a long-term relationship, if there's nothing going on, like, that is affecting a relationship, if he does have it, because also the oracle, it's also very calming also, because it talks about harmony, so it's love and peace. So if he does have a connection with someone, it's very healthy, it's in a very well balanced kind of state. But also the reading is giving me that it's all about him. It's all about him, it's all about his endeavors, it's all about his work. It's all about what he's creating, because he's working on something that it has to do with the group, that it has to do with another things that are coming, and he is like the center of this. It seems like his whole energy, his whole drive force is all into the work, into him working, into him creating something. I see him just like, putting a lot of work and being very strong and being very stable, and just, not losing, actually the word is not losing focus of what is important. And I think that romance is not his priority. I think that things are okay in the romance. I think that whether he's with someone, I don't see a person. So this is why I'm like, whether he likes someone or he's getting to know someone, I think that that's is to the side. He's not paying attention to this. He's more worried about his career. He's more focused on his career. I think that his whole passion, his whole body is more about, working, rehearsals, teamwork, being the leader, because the King of Wands is also someone that has a lot of energy. So him being very brave, him being an authority, a figure of authority. So I don't feel him like he's like, oh, I'm in love. I'm in love, like, oh my, I'm thinking about this person. And no, it's just that, also the card of harmony, it also lets me know that, if he has a special someone, the relationship or what he has with this person, it's very well built, or very well, like there's an agreement, there's something that is very well established, so he can be able to take his leadership, or just, take these important steps towards his career and focus on his career and doing what he has to do, and being, this very strong figure, and not be thinking like, oh my God, I have a girlfriend and my girlfriend is going to freak out because, I'm super busy. Like, no, I don't see Bangchan like this. No, at least I don't see it for 2026. I think that his eyes, if you see the cards, it's like his eyes are all towards his work. It's all him looking at his work, looking at what he has to do next, what he has to produce next. He's like, and he's in charge. So this is why things feel so important for him. It cannot be done by someone else. Actually, I see him taking over someone. Like, I think that he's taking someone's, he's like, I don't want to say he's replacing someone, but it feels like someone is walking away and he has to take this person's place. So it's very important. It's very important. Because I have this King of Swords and I have the Eight of Cups. So there's someone that is like walking away. There's like, I don't know if this is like a CEO or if this is like, a manager, or I don't know. This is a very important person as well. But this person is like, I cannot do this anymore. I have to go. So, and somehow Bangchan being like, you cannot leave us like this. We have things to finish. So I think that he's like taking charge because there's someone leaving. So, like someone important, like someone in charge, like maybe an authority figure or someone, a boss or someone that was in charge of something. And I think that this is why he's so busy. I don't see him feeling romantic. I think that in this case, his romance or his whole romantic energy goes towards creation and towards, building something for the group. He's very much like, passionate about this. This is why we have the King of Wands. And it's also he's very honest about this. He's very expressive about this. He has someone he's going to be very, very, expressive about, like, well, I'm busy, or, these are my priorities now. So, but I think that the good thing is that he is in charge and he's enjoying this. He's not like feeling the pressure. It's just that he's not in the mood for love. It's not a priority for him. His priority is creation, is creating, and the group. But, there's a sense of harmony as well. So I think that there must be something with someone that he really likes, that probably there's a very good foundation. Like you can really, that person understands his work or the way his career and what it represents for him, because there's a sense of harmony. He's also feeling peaceful. He's not fighting people. He's not fighting himself. He's just like, I'm just all love and peace. I just have to take care of other things. He's more on the CEO kind of vibe. Him being the boss. But yeah, he cannot be distracted. Okay, I'm going to continue with Felix. See, Felix, love for 2026. Oh, okay. Okay. 10 of Wands. 10 of Swords, sorry. 10 of Swords. Look, if I say this and I'm wearing glasses and I am already like seeing wrong, I don't know. 10 of Swords. Queen of Cups. 5 of Wands in the middle. 7 of Cups. The Moon. And then we have the card from the Oracle that it says fatal event. Very drastic, very drastic, very drastic for Felix. Very drastic. He does have like very interesting dynamics with people that he loves, because there's a lot of argument. There's a lot of like, and so I'm like, he's someone that he or either he attracts very reactive people, very reactive people, or he's reactive himself, but I think that, here I have the Queen of Cups, so I see someone, but I also see suffering, I see that there's something about, maybe the dynamic with this person is not or was not the healthiest. So he sort of enters the year with this sort of energy, with this energy of like, oh, I cannot take this anymore, or like, oh, here we go again, fighting, or or having arguments. Sorry, guys. Maybe this person feeling sensitive. I see a water sign, so I'm like, maybe she also is a bit on the defensive, like, you hurt my feelings, or you said this, and and I'm hurt, and there's a bit of misunderstanding, like, I don't get you, and there's a lot of tension, a lot of fighting, a lot of arguing, a lot of things that it feels like they are not compatible. They never were, I think. Maybe there's also incompatibility when it comes to that they cannot meet, that they cannot see each other. So there's a bit of like frustration, when you're frustrated because you're like, well, initially I liked this person, I wanted to get to know this person, but things had been so difficult, or things are very difficult around Felix. I think that actually Felix, it seems like his energy is really cool. Like, he's not, someone that gets easily triggered. But probably the people that he attracts in the circumstances are all dramatic. I don't know if this is done on purpose, because he's so peaceful that he attracts all the chaotic people to himself, or he attracts the chaos to himself. But it seems like this. It seems like it's like a war field. You're like, but how come? You started really good with this person, things were going well, and now all of a sudden everything is wrong. Everything that you do is wrong. Everything that you say is wrong. So it's not a good situation. It doesn't make him feel valued. It doesn't make him feel like, well, really, I want to fight for this relationship. No, because it's very messy. It's very incompatible. It's just full of things that you're like, well, but is this important? Do you really need to make a whole scene out of this? No. We also have the 7 of Cups and the Moon card. So, I mean, I don't see an ending. I mean, it could be an ending, because we have the card of fatal event. So at some point they could end things, because it's not well built from the beginning. It doesn't have like a good foundation. So at some point it's going to break. It's very fragile. Probably it's very new. It's a very new connection, but it's so chaotic. But at the same time, with the 7 of Cups and the Moon, there could be something about him also feeling a bit like sad about this, because he just doesn't understand, like, what is causing this? Like, what is going on? He doesn't understand. like what is going on? Like, are you jealous? Are you distrustful of me? Did someone tell you something? Did something happen? Because he seems to be clueless about, and very much in the darkness. Probably the person also doesn't want to talk, or they give him the silence treatment, so he doesn't fully understand, like, okay, if I did something wrong, what did I do? What was it? Can you please explain it to me? Because I don't. And also, he's probably super busy. He doesn't have the time to recollect information and be like, okay, let's organize this. Let's see, what did I do that day. He cannot do that. It's just that it feels like he he will always lose. It doesn't matter how he tries to explain himself. Things are very chaotic. It's going to take him a while to understand, like, because he doesn't. I think that he's a very peaceful person. He doesn't want things to end in a bad way, but it's just that there's a lot of things that they are not compatible. This is why I'm like, why do you attract this kind of people that is not good for you? With the Caro Fatal event, it's not good for him. It's not good for him. So he has to review that also. Why? Because I'm sure it's not the first time that he attracts someone like this. So why? Why? Why you attract someone that is always like pushing your buttons? It's someone that is always like pushing you, like, very dramatic. I cannot see fully your comment, because maybe clarification why he attacked people. Okay, I'm going to continue with Han. Okay, for Han, we have the Fool, we have the Hierophant, we have the Page of Wands in the middle, we have the Two of Wands, and we have the Chariot. I like it. Han feels like more alive. He wants to go out. He wants to go out and meet people. I like it. And then we have the Tomb of Love. The Tomb of Love. So yeah, something has happened that his view of relationship has totally changed. We have the Fool and we have the Hierophant. So there's something about him viewing relationships differently now, differently from what he used to he used to know, or he used to think about relationship. I wonder if he had like a commitment to someone, or if he was attached to someone, or he was waiting for someone, and now he's like, no, I need to start over. I think that I put a lot of expectations or energy on a person, and it just didn't do very well. I think that I shouldn't commit to people right away, or I shouldn't get attached to people right away. More on that side, because I think that he was like, there was something about him being attached to a person, as if he was dating this person, and in reality, they never. Probably the other part doesn't even know, but it took him a while to be like, maybe it's like a first love. And it took him a while to be like, well, that cannot be anymore. I have to change. I have to do something different. Love is different for me now, because with the oracle that is the tome of love. Definitely there's a grief. There's something that there has been something romantic that he had experienced in the past, that it had been, in this sort of tomb, it had been in the ground for a very long time, or in his unconscious for a very long time, but maybe he didn't want to accept that it was over, even if he knew that, it died a long time ago, and you still hold a place for that person, maybe that person wasn't that important, or the connection wasn't that deep, or it was not reciprocated. So I think that he's slowly like removing himself, from getting attached, to maybe things that didn't work in the past, and saying goodbye, to those times, because I think that he tends to fantasize. There's a part of him that he tends to fantasize, or maybe, emotionally hold spaces for people, and wait for people to come back, and for him to reconnect with people from the past that, they are not going to come back. And maybe if they come back, it's not the best for him, honestly. So if they don't come back, it's the best. It's the best that could happen for him. Do not take your ex back, please. Yeah, we have the Page of Wands in the middle. So for me, it's like he wants to explore as the man that he is. The man like a man of his age. He wants to explore, feeling attracted to someone, going out with someone, but it has to be spontaneous, and also it has to be. I don't see Han feeling romantic this year. I think that is more adventurous. It's more like, I want to go out, I want to have fun, I want to meet people, but zero attachments. I don't want to get into a relationship or fall in love. No, I don't see him like this. I think that he wants to explore his options. He's feeling very sexy also, very sexy, very sexual. There's a certain like awakening of his, needs, I would say, and he's feeling very much, in this masculine kind of era, and he's like, I want to feel attracted, I want to feel wanted, and I think that he wants to have fun, and I think that this also makes sense, because there's something about him that he has liberated himself lately. I don't know what happened, or I don't know if he was able to break free from certain, limitations that he had, or limited beliefs, or something that was holding him down. And he's like, no, I want a new beginning now. New year, new me. He's feeling more free. And he wants to explore, he wants to travel, he wants to meet people. Very active, very active. Very active. The Two of Wands, going, maybe meeting people from different countries, and we have the Chariot. He wants to advance. He just wants to advance, and he doesn't want to look back. There's something about his past that it feels like he's. So this is why we have the card of the Tome of Love, because it feels like he's bearing something inside, or there was a story of his, a love story of his, maybe his first love, or maybe someone that he used to care a lot about, that this is still like in this sort of secret garden, it still holds a place. And he's trying to bury this. He's trying to bury this and just stay there buried, because I want to continue with my life. I want to be a man of my age. I want to have fun. Love can wait. He wants to accumulate experiences, experiences where he actually can feel alive. That I can have fun with my people, with my friends, with the members, and just not being stuck on, because I don't know, maybe, falling in love can make him feel a bit sad, a bit drained in energy, a bit worried, a bit lonely also. But actually, maybe thinking about okay, I want to meet people, but not necessarily to get into a relationship, because he's very young. He's very young in soul. I know that they are all very young, but I think that for him, he will always have this sort of teenager kind of energy. So he needs to, make the most of his relationships. Not hurry. More have fun with people of your age. Yeah, flings. Mm-hmm. But yeah, his energy does feel heavy. He does feel like he's trying to, and for him it's a whole, exercise to try to bring something different to his aura, to his life, to himself. It's like, I want to have fun because I deserve it. I have been so down lately. I deserve to have fun and being a guy of my age. So yes. Okay, I'm going to continue with Seungmin. Let's see, Seungmin romance for 2026. Does he likes Nunas? Because I see someone and I'm like, okay. For Seungmin, we have the Seven of Swords. We have the Three of Cups, Three of Pentacles, not Cups. We have the World card in the middle. We have the King of Swords, and we have the Queen of Pentacles. And then I have the card of nourishment. He wants to be nourished in love. Also, the nourishment card, it sort of fits with this Queen of Pentacles. Abundant. He wants to be nourished in love. He's very playful. I wonder if he got himself in trouble. He probably is this kind of, this kind of member that you're like, oh, but he's like the quiet one, or he's like the one that looks like an angel. He's very playful. He's very playful. He always gets away with things. Always, always, always. I think that I don't know about the other members, but I think that this guy has a bit of commitment issues. There's something about him, maybe having some unfinished business with people and just not being able to fully close doors. Like he doesn't fully, gives closure to his exes. He's like, he just, disappears for a while and then he comes back and then, he meets them again and things can get a bit confusing, but, he's cute. So, but I think that there's a bit of also awareness in this, there's something in these cards that I'm like, he's trying to be better at this, and probably not getting in the middle of situations. But why do I feel like he always ends up in situations where there's another person? Like suddenly there's 3 people in the relationship. And he's like, oh, oh, wow, it's a bit crowded. Because also this queen doesn't come alone. She comes with someone. So, so I would be careful, I would say. I mean, he does know how to take care of himself. I think that things also, we have the world card in the middle. So somehow, the life keeps moving and life keeps like, somehow faith seems to put people in his life for a certain process, for a certain like a purpose, and maybe there's something about him meeting these people that is work related, because I have the 3 of Pentacles here. And this is why the 7 of Swords is him probably trying to avoid, maybe dating people that he works with, or just not being, not date while he's working, or just, not getting emotionally. I think that he tries, but he gets entangled anyways. Like there's a bit of like, yes, I did try, but at the end I got involved anyways, or at the end someone got me involved in, it's not that he wants to, but situations happen like this and it's very messy. It's very messy. Yeah, this Queen of Pentacles, I see that she could be important, but she also comes with another man. So I'm like, I would be like, you should wait for her to get rid of the other man. It's just that with the card of Nourish, there's a lot of temptation. Also, I don't know if you see the card of Nourish, that the lady, is holding this basket of fruits, and there's this hand that is like, coming here, and it's like, excuse me, I'm going to grab a food. It's like the temptation of like, well, I was there just being my pretty self, and there you were. And I met you. And I couldn't resist it because you were there. So, so I think that he's also someone that you cannot resist. He has that magnetism. He's just that beautiful. That it's not about beauty. It's about his aura. There's something just very, calming about his aura. He just seems to be a very sweet kind of lover. That maybe, for this is why if these women are taken, or if they are in relationships, it sort of makes sense that they are confused, or that they feel tempted to see him, attractive, or to see his attractiveness, because, they come in company of very rational and very old, old. I said very old people. I would like what I wanted to say was cold people. Cold people. They surround themselves, or they are in alliances, or they are in relationships with cold people. But it could be old people also as well, older than them. So there's a bit of, disconnection. They don't have the most emotional, rewarding kind of relationship. So then you feel the energy of someone, very artistic, very talented, very sweet, like a charming gentleman like Seungmin, and you feel the attraction. You feel, because he exudes this sort of availability, I would say. He's available emotionally. He's sweet, he's caring. So, it just happens. It just happens. He has that thing that people just gravitate towards him, because he has that nourishment that these people need in their lives, in their romantic lives. And he always gets chosen. It's not that he goes out there like, oh my God, I'm going to seduce you. No, he just, people are very interested in him. The more they get to know him, the more, like, first he can be like, oh, I admire what you do. And then it's like the more they talk to him, they realize that he's actually, very intelligent. Probably emotionally, he's very mature, in the sense that he is very empathic, or you are just able to, open up about, sensitivity, or about, very, private matters. And he's really good at, making space for that, and allowing you to express yourself. So it sort of makes sense that you will fall for someone like that, especially if you're sort of like starving for connection and for someone to listen to you. He's like the perfect lover in that case. It's just that, it's more about that these people need him in their lives more than he is looking for love. He's not. He's just being himself, and these people appear, older than him, I would say. But probably these situations pass very fast, because we have the world card in the middle. So there's something about, like, it's something that is bound to change at some point. mm. mm. Oh, yeah. Remember that one? Remember that? Oh, we call, how we couldn't forget that. Oh my God. But it's just uneventful, I would say. It's just situations that they keep repeating episodes, like a sort of pattern, and then it goes away. And then it goes away. It's not meant to stay, nor teach you something. It's more than, it's just maybe it's like an office kind of flirting or something like this. Yeah. But he brings the nourishment. He brings instead of the ladies bringing the emotional security and all of those. Yes. Let's see Changbin. So far, nothing interesting. Yeah. So far, nothing like. I mean, the thing with Changbin is that there's a lot of major arcanas. We have the Chariot, we have the Fool, Death card in the middle, we have the High Priestess, and we have the Ace of Pentacles. Oh. And we have the card of identifications. Identifications. Oh. He is a romantic. He's like looking for the one, I would say, Changbin. Changbin is like looking for the one. It's just that I think that first of all, this year it's a very transformative year. I don't know about relationships. I don't know about romance because I think that this is more about his energy. We have the desk are in the middle, so there's a lot of transformation in his beliefs or in the way he's been living his life. Also advancing, liberating himself from the past. You know, we have the Chariot and we have the Fool. So there's a bit of like, you know, let's just advance and move on from the past and let's just liberate ourselves. I want to be free. I want to be free from judgment, free from other people's expectations. I want to be a new person. And I want to continue like, you know, working on myself, on my self-value, loving myself more. You know, I think that he was able to break free from, you know, maybe dark times or moments where, you know, thinking of romance, I think that romance is very complex for him. I don't know why, because I don't see a person, but I think that his energy is more like it's a me problem. You know, it's not about whether he is dating someone or he's able to attract someone. It's more like a me problem. You know, like I need to be a new me. It's very, it takes a lot of courage for him to be different, you know. And I think that just like any kind of transformation is very scary for him, you know, to be like, I'm not going to be the same person anymore. Or what I used to bring in relationships, I'm not going to do that anymore. I'm going to be a completely new person. I'm going to transform myself. And it's going to be very, very chaotic. You know, I don't know about Changbin today, you know, how people are perceiving him or how if they notice that his energy feels like more dense, like more intense, like there's something that is like boiling inside of him. But he's changing, you know, he's maturing. He's not the same person. Um, and I think that his inner work is going to pay off this year. We have the High Priestess and the Ace of Pentacles. So the Ace of Pentacles is also about success. So I wonder if he could actually, you know, this year start a stable connection with someone. But I think that the High Priestess, it has to be hidden, of course, because otherwise people would, you know, spoil it. But then, you know, about the High Priestess, I think that the person also has to have a level of depth, a level of spirituality as well. You know, that person has to somehow go through this spiritual process that he also has been experiencing. Or maybe he's religious, that this person is going through the same road, the same progress, the same path, you know, the path to self-discovery, the path to, I don't know, introspection, like I have to go inwards and find wisdom, and I have to be silent. But I think that love is available in there, in moments of quietness, in moments of silence, moments of observation also. I think that the energy, there's a feminine energy that is available for him, but it can start very innocently. And it can be something that is not like an attraction, like, oh my God, like I laid my eyes on that person and I realized how beautiful, you know, they are, or these traits of them. No, I think that it has to be slow, and it has to be, you know, um, there's something that I want to say that is like it has to be harmless, you know. And I think that this is the kind of person that Changbin would open up to, you know, someone that cannot harm you, you know, someone that cannot hurt you, someone that you are like, oh, this person is so sweet, they wouldn't hurt a fly, you know, this person is so sweet, or this person is so nice, or this person, you know, looks like, you know, they are very gentle. I think that kind of person is for him. Someone that sort of introduces themselves into his life very quietly, you know, that they are just there, and because I think that he has the potential of, I think that love can be scary for someone like Changbin, especially when he feels like an instant attraction or a person caught his eye. You know, he can freak out a bit inside, and also he can be a bit erratic. You know, if he's around someone that he likes, he can be a bit like, you know, act impulsively or just being a bit goofy and just not knowing how to act and not knowing what to say, and actually, you know, making things very awkward for the other part, or him feeling awkward and him feeling ashamed of himself and be like, why did I act like this? Why did I do this? But I think that, you know, the Ace of Pentacles and the High Priestess is about, you know, this very silent kind of person, you know, that they are not judging you, they are just, you know, there with you, and it's just a very gentle force. Like they are magnetic, but they are magnetic in mystery. You know, you don't know much about them, they also don't know much about you, so there's a void, there's a lot of space between the two of you, you know, because you don't know much about the person and the person doesn't know about you. Maybe this person is not from the industry, they don't know that he's famous, they don't know that you know what group he's from. So there's a potential of growing in there, of growing trust, that I think that this is what he needs to grow in trust, he needs to trust. And this is why, you know, the kind of identification is so cute. It's so cute, and it's so it's like I'm looking for the person that I can identify myself with. It's just that, you know, I also have to bring myself to that situation, you know. And this is why I'm like in moments of like him being this successful person or him being in the spotlight, he cannot show that part of himself. It has to be in a very simple kind of setting. But I think that it could be very sweet. Very sweet. Yes. Mm-hmm. Yes. It's really cute, that card. It's so cute. It's just so sweet. Identification. It's so sweet. It's so sweet. Yes. It doesn't match his image. Yes. He's very sweet. Also, he's very sensitive. Very sensitive. This is why he's like the kind of person that you are like, he has to have like a certain, you know, a certain label that it says, you know, treat with care, you know, fragile, treat with care. He's very fragile like that. He's very strong. He's very strong. You know, he has a strong will. But I think that when it comes to maybe love, connections, and you know, the potential of opening up to someone, he has a lot of trust issues as well. You know, people hasn't been very nice to him, so I think that he has a hard time trusting. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Okay, let's continue with Lino. Every time I have this card, I think that every time I read, I use this oracle of the Icing of Love for idols. I always get the card of the initial difficulty. Always, always. Like, I think that every idol at some point, they had gotten this card. So, yeah. Okay, for Lino, we have the Four of Swords. We have the Page of Cups. We have the 10 of Wands in the middle. He's trying, poor guy, he's trying. Five of Swords. Then we have the 6 of Wands. It's tough. Yeah, and we have the initial difficulty. The initial difficulty, always, always. It sort of makes sense. And I think that if we think about, that I say, that I always get these cards for some idols, that is like the initial difficulty. And I think that if you think about it, it sort of makes sense that, that for some idols, they get the card of the initial difficulty, because honestly, maybe they go through, they have experiences of meeting someone, but always something happens or something goes wrong, or people find out, or there's an invasion of their privacy, or there's some drama around, the initial steps of a connection. So, then it gets destroyed and he has to start over, or he has to meet someone new, or, I think that, there's a lot of like not relationships, but there's like a lot of beginnings of potential relationship for idols that they have been destroyed because they were exposed, because there was people middling in, people found out, everyone went crazy. So their careers, reputation, all of those things. So it kind of makes sense that idols get, like the initial difficulty. It's like, yeah, it's a difficulty because it sort of threatens, that is not like a 10-year connection. This is something that maybe he went out twice with this person and something happened, and now they're not talking, or now they're not seeing each other anymore, or the company asked them to stop, something like this. So a lot of interruptions, but also it's like, it's not a proper connection. It's not like, oh no, this is my girlfriend from a lot of years. No, this is something that maybe they know someone, they start seeing someone, but then, then difficulties start to happen. Yeah, I mean, for Lino, I kind of see the beginning of something. I see someone, and I see with the Four of Swords, I think that he's also trying to be casual about this. There's something about him, maybe he's doing good emotionally, he's doing good with this person, or he's developing, feelings for this person, but it's like, it's chill. It's a very chill kind of, like, I just met you, or, we're starting to talk. He is very optimistic about this potential connection. He's happy also. He's opening up. He's been nice. He's been sweet, romantic. But, in the middle, we have the 10 of Wands. So the poor man is tired. The poor man are they on tour or something like this? Or are they about to go on tour? Because he is super tired. And I think that 2026 is still going to demand a lot of him physically. So, it's not that glamorous as people think, dating an idol. He probably lacks a bit of energy. He feels very responsible also. He probably is like, I don't want to offend anyone, but, my life is complicated. My life is like this. My lifestyle is like this. I can do very few about my circumstances. He's super busy. We have the Five of Swords that it's, him defending himself, defending the group, defending his work. But then we have the Six of Wands at the end. So I think that he could go through a bit of ups and downs, you know. I think that this connection is new. He's feeling good about it, but there's also like the initial difficulties, you know. Maybe it's that he's super busy, he doesn't have the time. There's a lot of interruptions, cancellations, like I cannot see you, cannot talk to you, you know, I have to fix this, or, you know, I have this issue with the group, or the group, we have to do this, you know. And a lot of cancellation, a lot of like, you know, I'll see what I can do. But I think that at the end, with the Six of Wands, there's a potential of things being cool, nevertheless. Yeah, there could be a lot of difficulties and interruption in this connection. I don't think that it's like going to go smooth. I think that it's going to be difficult for him to meet this person. Things are going to get busier and busier and busier, but he feels good for this person. There's feelings. And also I think that he's not freaking out. He's tired, he's exhausted, but emotionally, since this is like the beginning, he's not like worried. He's not like, oh my God, like how can I balance both lives? He's like, no, well, I'm just talking to this person. I mean, it's like the initial stage. So, you know, it is what it is with me. You know, there's something about in here that, you know, I see honesty from Lino. See, his energy is like, I'm not worried. Like, you know, if you are okay with this, we will continue. And if you are not okay with this and you don't want to do this, okay, bye. You know, he's okay. You know, he likes the person. He's like, yeah, you know, I kind of like this. But at the same time, he's like, you know, I have a lot on my plate. So I am a very busy person. So if you don't understand this, then I guess we are not meant to be. And he's like open to, you know, be rejected, or the person being like, yeah, your lifestyle doesn't match my own. So yeah, we will be friends. You know, he's like, well, okay, you know. But at the end, I see a triumph. So I can see him, you know, like getting into a sort of a very favorable agreement where they will continue. Even though we have here the initial difficulty. So yes, probably this connection will go through, you know, certain challenges that these are to put the said connection in a sort of like, like you are on probation. like somehow, you know, like you have to put the person to the test. Are you okay with this, or are you uncomfortable with this? If you don't like this, or if you are not okay with me being gone, or that I'm busy, and if you don't understand it and you don't want to go through this, you can say it and we end this. You know, I think that there's something about Lino, just also him being you know, he's very honest. He's very straightforward about this. And he's like, you know, if the person is for me, they will understand it. And if the connection is mutual, or if things are okay between us, and if the person likes me, they will understand it. And if they don't understand it, it's okay too. You know, he's very, you know, open-minded in that sense. And I think that also is because he likes the person, but it's not like he's in love. So because it's also the initial, you know, connection part that he's like not attached. So if he does get rejected, he's like, well, I will move on. There's another fishes in the sea. Plenty of fishes in the sea. That's my bias. That's my bias. He's not work. He's just tired. The poor guy is tired physically. The poor guy is tired. Tired. He's sustaining everything with his body, poor guy. Poor guy. But we can do this. We can do this. You got this. They must be super tired. But let's see the magnet. I am romance for 2026. Let's see. Wow. Wow. Oh my God. Another one that likes the Nunas, could it be? I mean, it's not so much like liking, it's not about the age difference. It's more about, that this person has a very strong presence. And I'm like, this is a star. This is a celebrity. Okay, for IN, Queen of Wands, we have Six of Swords. We have the Star card in the middle. We have the Tower. And we have the Lovers. I have a lot of naked people in here. And I also have the Venus card in here that it says falling in love. Falling in love, the Venus in here, present, falling in love. So the magnet is in love, allegedly. The magnet seems to be in love. Why do I have all these naked people that I have to cover? You cannot see it, but just in case. There's a woman here. She's very impressive. She's very impressive. She's a famous one, definitely. Famous, very famous, very famous. A queen. Queen. And also we have the star card in the middle. So it's like both of them are stars and it's like it's meant to be. Is meant to be because both of them are equally successful in their own rights, but different genres, different, like the opposite of each other. But they are like I don't want to say like they are like the most popular, but there's something about them holding in their respective groups. If if the other person is part of a group, it's like they have this sort of like, they have the throne, separated for them. They are special. They are treated differently. Could it be a Leo? Another Leo placement? Because both of them are like equally important. And the Leo placements, they match each other. Is he doing an MC with other female or with other people, with other idols? Is he doing some MC work? Because I think that we could see this. We could see this chemistry developing. There's a lot of exposure in here, a lot of naked people. A lot of naked people in here. So a lot of exposure, a lot of like maybe people even shipping them. Maybe people are really fans of them or they want them together because they are like, they seem like a perfect match. They match each other's energy. They match each other's appearance, I would say. Yeah, probably he has a sort of like, because there's also a bit of innocence in IN, so probably this falling in love is one-sided. I must say, because I have the Tower. Unfortunately, I have the Tower and I have the Lovers. So it's like, when we're together, the magnetism, the sparks fly. But then when we are separated, I feel like my whole world falls apart. Or maybe then he finds out something about this person and he's like, oh, I thought that she was interested in me. And then, there's news that no, it's not like that. It's like, yes, but no, it's not that. Oh, poor Ian. Poor Ian. I mean, I don't think that he's going to take it like to heart. I don't think that he's going to be that affected because we do have the card of falling in love. So there's a part of him that he is like enjoying feeling butterflies for someone, or he's enjoying, feeling the attraction, or he's enjoying this sort of flirtatious kind of vibe of like, I like that person and I think that they like me too, a bit like a high school drama, like, oh yeah, I know that they are into you, but you are into the other person. There's a lot of protagonism here. But it feels like it's not like emotionally deep. It's more like I see that person and I find them attractive, and especially this Queen of Wands, she's amazing. She's very magnetic. She is amazing. Amazing. She is amazing. She's very eye-catching, a strong personality, a strong charisma, and he likes that. I think that also is very interesting because I think that Ian in this year is slowly finding his Venus. I don't know where his Venus is, his Venus sign, but, literally having Venus in here, in falling in love, I think that he's like slowly in his mind, he's building his version of what I find attractive or what I want in a partner, in a future partner. What characteristics do I want from them? How do I want them to make me feel? And he's just falling in love. I think that he's like this falling in love at first sight. I think that he's going to experience this very frequently this year, very much. But I see exposure. So then, you guys, if you are fans of Ian, let me know if he is going to appear in a show or if he's going to appear working with some colleagues, and if in there you see something, because I think that you are going to be able to see it because there's a lot of work, and also the star is in the middle. So there's a lot of like fated encounters, him meeting this person on a set, or it's like you have to collaborate together, or you have to see each other, or you have to work together, and it's also very appealing, everything besides him, being attracted to the person. It's also him, having a spotlight, or him having a moment of recognition for himself, him also being recognized as this very popular man, him also being part, just like I said, I remember earlier I was talking about Ateez Yunho, and now I'm talking about Ian, and I know that Ian is a magnet, but probably this year is also with the star, there's a lot of romanticism or a lot of flirting, but there's also a lot of Venusian, like everything has to do with beauty, with him looking beautiful, with him looking more attractive, with him having these cute interactions with the opposite sex, and you've been like, oh my God, were they flirting? And you starting to see this new side of him, and you've been like, oh wow, that's cool, this dynamic that he has with these people. I never seen him act like this, so it's very interesting. Googling Ian rumors, but finding. Yeah, we should see. I'm going to pull the hidden, now that he's the last one, I'm going to pull for the hidden magnetism, his art of attracting love, Fluffy. I'm going to do this now so I can attach this to his reading, since he's the last one. So yeah, let's see. So I don't have this pendant because I don't want to forget. Okay, for Ian. The art of attracting love. The wear and the tear of time. Oh, this card I never got. The wear and tear of time. I don't know. I don't know if I... What is it? The wear and the tear of time. It's my first time getting this card. The wear and tear of time. Despite love opening up to something eternal, since it is born in time, it is destined to perish. despite the best intentions. The oracle indicates the aptitude to adopt. Remain firm as a mountain. Keep an absolute stillness and let yourself be crossed by what happens to you. This will also pass. Okay. Okay, for Ian, we have 9 of Cups, we have the 8 of Pentacles, we have the 4 of Wands, and then I have the card of, the wear and tear of time. This is about time passing, that sometimes when it comes to relationships, just as they were meant to flourish in your life or appear in your life, with time, it can also, the connection can die as well, or it can turn into something else, that this is part of the rhythm of life, that no matter what happens in your connections, you must remain still, you must remain calm, as you're going through the changes. About, his, the art of attracting love, his hidden magnetism. This is actually very similar to when I read for TXT Yeonjun, because if you notice, there's a lot of yellow, and also there's a lot of especially the nine of cups, there's a person that is like facing yourself, is facing the card, and it's like very proud of themselves, it's very satisfied emotionally with what they had created. Also, the 8 of Pentacles, there's a lot of work. It's like, I continue to work. I feel blessed for who I am, or for who I'm becoming. But also, I never stop working on myself. I'm always thinking about being better. And the 4 of Wands, it's about him being celebrated and him always being joyful, fun, always laughing, always enjoying with the rest. I think that, also when I read for TXT Yeonjun, that there's a lot of external validation, there's a lot of exposure of this is not a member that he's like, oh my God, no one recognizes me. No, he's very blessed in this sense. He has the emotional support of others. There's a lot of people celebrating him. There's a lot of people telling him, you done well. You are not alone. You had accomplished a lot. These are your accomplishments, or this is how you had matured, or this is how you are maturing. So there's a lot of pride in Ian's evolution, I would say, because he is in a moment of evolution. This is why when I read for him, I get the star card, and there could be someone that is like very eye-catching for him, that could represent, oh, I like this person, this person is very interesting, or they are so attractive. But I think that about his attractiveness, or how he attracts love, is about him having people that remind him that he's special. And he has that. He has that emotional support. He has people, behind him that they're like, you done well, you done well, you done well. And I think that that's a very key element in someone's development. I don't know if this is like the magnet treatment, that he has, the older guys pushing him and being like, you got this, you are the best. But I think that it works. It works a lot, because this guy is going places, and the more he matures, or the more he gets older, the funnier he's going to get. The funnier, you're going to see him in places. He's going to go out. He's going to be out there. He's going to go do his individual activities. You're going to see him with the group, and you're going to see him doing individual activities and just being so entertaining, and him having the time of his life. I don't know. I see the 4 ones, and for me, I cannot help but picture Ian always laughing, always smiling, always with a big smile on his face. He's a very positive person. He's someone that he just enjoys being alive. He has that energy. He has that, it's really easy to connect with him because he's not negative at all. It's like everything is cool with him. Everything is cool. It's like you give him a piece of something and he's like, thank you, and he's so appreciative of everything. He's so thankful for every opportunity, and he's always like sort of like he's at awe at every possibility. He's like, oh my God, this is so cool. He's so happy like this. He's like this happy vibe person. And I think that he will, he's going there. He's going to places where he's going to keep being celebrated. And probably he's the reason why maybe a lot of people also in the fandom, probably they celebrate him because he makes them smile, or he makes them, I want to see a smile, but also I want to say like laugh out loud. Could it be that he's hilarious? Does anyone know? Because I don't watch that much Stray Kids content. So I watched a few episodes back then in pandemic, but I don't know that much about lately, what Stray Kids members are doing. But when it comes to Ian, I get this very joyful kind of vibe of like, he's hilarious. He's like a comedian. So this is why I'm like, I'm not surprised if at some point he becomes a comedian, or he becomes like someone that is part of a group where their experiences is all about, entertaining people and just laughing at the random consequences. I don't know. I think that it's just hilarious. I see him being part of, a program like this or a show like this, where he's going to be together with other celebrities. But I think that the level of, he's very confident also in himself. Because again, just like, what I said when I first started these readings for TXT Yeonjun, when we have the Eight of Pentacles in the middle, there's this feeling of hard work. This guy, is not that he's just appreciated and loved and that's it. That's good for me. No, he keeps working on himself, and he keeps getting better and better and better. And you're going to see him. You're going to see him, with this card of the wear and tear of time. I think that he also, he's with time, he's also going to be very stable. He's going to know how to navigate the path of time, because as circumstances changes, activities changes, maybe some members want to do this and the others want to go over here, and there's some changes and there's some modifications. And he's like, well, I understand the path of time. I will adapt and I will continue with a very positive attitude. He's very strong. He's very, he's built like that, and I think that there's a lot of positivity as well. So this is why I'm like, whatever his family or his members have done for him is an excellent work. If they had like created this safe net for him, I think that they've done a great job for this guy, because the way he's somehow, accumulating recognition, and where he's going to be making choices that are going to put him not only on a place where, oh yeah, I'm going to be the popular one, or I'm going to be popular. No, also his ability to laugh at himself and being goofy and being different and having fun and going into wild adventures with the strangers, and I think that you're going to see him and this is his appeal, is his ability to be more social even, and maybe, not so much about like relying only on the group. It's more like, yeah, you go and do individual activities that you're going to have a great time, so, but he's so nice. He's such a nice guy. He's such a nice guy. And he's not, if there's someone that is like, oh, is he confident? He is confident in himself. So don't be afraid, because I know that there's people that they probably worry about him, or, just like we sometimes when we have the magnet of a group, especially that they are growing, and they are becoming different versions of themselves. Sometimes you as a fan, you worry about them and you're like, will they be okay? Because they're like the baby of the group, and even if you don't, I don't want to baby the idols. I don't think that is correct. But, when they are the youngest, you tend to worry. You're like, what is going to be of them? And he is just he's so he's so well prepared. I don't know how to say it. Oh, I'm starting to feel cold in my hands. The little I sing, he seems playful, a bit teasing. Yeah, he could go. He could feel an attraction slash admiration for fire signs. Yes, fire signs. Hey, Laura. Laura was here. I didn't see. I just read Laura in here. Yeah, I will have to put it on. Let's see how it goes, but I think that I will put it on Patreon for people maybe that want to acquire it for themselves. But yeah, of course, at the private readings, I will pull more cards. In here, I pull only 3 because we don't have much time. My time is limited here, but I was just testing it today to see, if you guys enjoy it. I'm always trying to think about something that is romantic related, but I sometimes I'm like, how do I don't want to repeat ideas, but sometimes I'm like, I don't even know how to call this. Like, I know what I want to do, but I find it hard to come up with a name for the reading, because I want to make myself understood about, what is the subject. Yes, I did. Yeah, I had fun. I had fun. Thank you for the recommendation, guys. Thank you so much. And also the people that were on the list, their vibes were really good. Really good. Really good. Um, so very kind. Not that because sometimes I do, every time I read for people, I do get very heavy, people that struggle a lot. But no, in this case, I didn't. Um, then Sunday, I'm going to read for Chinese actors and actresses. Then let's see how it goes. Let's see how we do this. I want new names. New names. Well, I say new, but people that a mix of the new, or maybe people that I read and it's been a while since I read for them. That's what I'm going to be asking. But yeah, since I'm getting into C-drama, I'm excited. Let's do the personality test for them. Okay. I'm going to write it down. because sometimes you tell me that on Sundays you cannot make it, Fluffy. So I'm going to write it down now so I don't forget. Because sometimes it's too early for you. And I believe for Draculaura it's also very early. Yeah, I know. Yeah, I know. That's why I will write it down so then you can rewatch it. Also, we have to celebrate him because he has done very well in Pursuit of Jade. So I think that to read for him is a good opportunity to celebrate him. I did finish the C drama that I was watching, Light to the Night, that Dylan Wang is in it, and I did enjoy his performance so much. This was my first time watching C drama of his, and I enjoyed so much his acting. The older guy that also plays his coworker. Um, Great acting. The last 10 episodes and the ending were I was a bit disappointed by the ending, in my opinion, because it was a sort of a thriller slash crime kind of show. And I don't know, I think that I don't know why, like they get to the episode 14, and then after that, I don't know what they do, but the plot keeps crashing down. Like I was like, but how come? That's why I'm like 24 episodes of, the last 10 being about them not getting any clues. So I'm like, why? Why? Like I was so exhausted and annoyed. I was so exhausted, and I just the ending. I'm not. But that his acting was amazing, and him and the other male lead, they made me cry. Yes, I was super, immersed in their dynamic. Great acting, great acting. Yeah, it's set on a sort of real life, I would say, because yeah, it's not fantasy nor anything. It's on it's based on two timelines that is like between 1995 and 2015, but it's really good, really good. I swear, like the first 10 episodes I watched them all continuously, on Netflix. I watch it on Netflix. But then later I was like, what? But yes. Yeah, that one I have to watch also, Fluffy. Fairy and Devil. Uh-huh. Yes. I have to watch that as well. I cannot believe I've been here 3 hours. I was, thank God I'm charging my phone, because if I have to get and I have an online course now in 20 minutes. So thank God I was charging my phone. But I cannot believe, I'm looking at the hour, I'm like, what? And also here, since it's like it's autumn already, it's fall, but now it gets darker earlier, the day. Yes. What time is it over there for you, Fluffy? But yes, thank you guys for being here because you guys keep me company. Draculaura also. The other day she was here and she helped me because, sometimes I do have this mic and it runs out of battery. So I sometimes I'm just talking and I don't see it. So I talk and talk and then, it's past 10. Wow, so there's a lot of hours of difference, Fluffy. Yeah, 5 hours, 5 hours. Mm, yeah, very, very late. Okay, you go to sleep, go and rest. I'm going to also have to organize my things. And I'm going to get my heater because it's really cold in here and I have to study seated again, so I'm going to get colder. Mm, yeah, thank you. Thank you. Yeah, I know, but well, you're working. That's the good thing is that you're working. I know, I know. The only thing that I want to know is if you guys are doing okay. That's if your guys are doing okay, if you're living life and just doing okay, that's good for me. Hey Laura. I'm wearing my new glasses. I never wore glasses before. This is my first time wearing glasses. I'm a bit uncomfortable. But yeah, I wanted to wear them for the first time here to see how it goes. But yeah, next Sunday, then I'm going to do the personality readings for the Chinese actors and actresses. Okay, so if you guys have any favorite Chinese or actor and actress, let me know. Okay, guys, I'm going to go. I'm freezing here, I swear. My hands are really cold. But yeah, the heater, my cat has the heater. So, yes. Thank you so much, guys, for stopping by. Have a lovely week. Bye.